Yes, now everybody, it is our round six predictions for the Madrid E-Prix. Kyle, how are you? It's been a while.
I am very good. It has been a while, and I've got on my notes to apologise to you, Corey, because you said the wait was going to be too long, and I went, well, that's a load of rubbish because you don't edit the videos, and then realised 2 weeks ago I was wheeling my chair in to do another video again. I've had enough. So yes, I do regret what I said, and you were correct. But yeah, this wait has felt like an age. And the worst part is this isn't even the worst one. This is kind of like the medium weight between races. So, but we had a great doubleheader in Jeddah, it was fantastic. I think as a weekend, I got a few friends to watch it as well, enjoy the sport, get to know it. It was a really good weekend to come from. It was entertaining. I think race 4 was a bit dry with the pit boost. I didn't think much happened. Obviously, race 5 was fantastic, repping what I call the colours of Jaguar. So yeah, what did you think of the races over the weekend?
Yeah, good races. I remember I watched the first one with you at yours, and you showed me some top trumps. Um, but yes, I'd just like to say my poll prediction was very, very good. I randomly picked Mortara, and he only gone and bagged both Jeddah poles. So I was actually thrilled before the race had even started, Kyle. Both races. So yeah, it was good. It was good. I felt a bit bad for Maloney in the first race where he got a bit of damage and well, I'll say a bit
Yeah,
terminal damage.
yeah,
And I thought the Marty Tictum beef not beef was quite funny. But yeah, overall it was not a bad weekend, and I was very happy it was a double header. To be fair, because it's like double the fun, isn't it, Carl?
yeah. I like to think of it as double points. And speaking of points, the scores on the doors, you absolutely wiped the floor. It is currently 37 points to you, 28 to me, or that's what I've got calculated here. That's a mega job, and I think big thanks to Edo Mortara for giving you 6 points before even getting into the race. So very good call on that. And I think the races were fantastic. I think the Evo sessions were interesting as well to get more fans into it. I'm not sure. We haven't heard too much from that, but my thoughts are Buemi masterclassed it, and I'm sort of getting the answer to why was he so quick in Mexico, which makes me very happy. And Edo Mortara, we're probably going to talk about him a lot because he wasn't even in the top 5, probably not even the top 6. I haven't checked my notes, but he's now second place, and I think he's sniffing distance from the championship at the moment. So I think it was really good from him. He was consistent. He was fast. He had the blunder in the first race with it looked like the grip wasn't there for him. But was that Gunther? I can't remember. One of them did, but it wasn't a great start for him. I think
No,
it was
you're
him,
right.
yeah. Yeah, it was right.
Yeah, Batara didn't have a great
I
start.
know
Yeah,
that
he bogged down on the line, didn't he?
yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Gunther though, because obviously they had a terrible race 4 as well, or race 1 in that situation. So, but yeah, so this week is Madrid, which is very exciting. This is a circuit they've tested at before. This is the track circuit for anyone who's not seen it. Obviously they've done testing here in the past, and I was saying to you before we started this podcast, it's a Madrid circuit for Formula E, and also Formula One are going to Madrid this year. And I've questioned every time I brought it up: is it the wrong way round? A classic circuit for Formula E. So, and obviously Formula One is doing a custom-made, looks like a business park sort of race. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Obviously, it's a narrower track than I think Saudi, and they're still doing that final sort of chicane end for the lap, which I'm excited to see. So tight, which could mean quite a few T-bones, but let's hope not. But yes, so predictions as we're going through. Obviously, these are the scores on the doors. As I mentioned, we score points by guessing our own predictions, and you can join along too. The rules are on screen. If you're listening to this via a podcast version or anything, there'll be a description of it below as well, so you can see what we're actually talking about when we go through. But obviously, we score points for getting the correct duels positions, or the qualifying positions into the duels. We also get points if they get through as well. So that's kind of how that works. And then we've got Depleted and Energized, which are kind of our best and worst, which I'm actually looking forward to. And I can't wait to hear what Corey's got, because today I've had like ages to think about it, and I've put some of these down. And then obviously we're going to guess the podium as well. And for the first time ever, I bet you're going to be really excited that the pity points aren't for you, Corey, because you're miles ahead. And what we mean by that is the one who's losing in our championship gets to pick the winning team first. And with Corey absolutely wiping the floor, it's very obvious. And you're probably going to love delivering the line. So come up with a good line for that, Cor. So, yeah. Obviously get involved. I will mention a massive well done to the Nicky 94 and Taylor. They were our winners from the round 4 and round 5 for getting the most points. I think, Corey, you theoretically run round 4 with absolutely demolishing, but we don't count in that. We want you to get involved and just, tell us who you think is going to come out on top. So, I guess it's ready to get into the show. These are the groups me and Corey are going off. So I've got Group A, Corey's got Group B. So I guess we'll get into it and start off with 4th into the qualifying to get into the duels. We really don't. We
always bugger it up, Kyle. We always get it wrong, but we just go with it anyway.
I'll try again.
I think we just leave that in, Kyle. Is it me to pick first?
No, it's me to pick first. Let me.
It's you. Right, over to you, Kyle.
I'm really stressing with this time because the group stage, the group I've got, I feel like is like everyone who's really competitive. I just find this one's a lot of a harder group to pick from because there's, I don't know, if I had yours, I know who would pick easily, but this one I was really struggling with, and I think it's because. Actually, let's just get into it. So who am I putting 4th? I'm going to go for Pascal Wehrlein. So Pascal Wehrlein is fast this season, and obviously he's winning the championship, but I don't think he's had great qualifying. So obviously the duels don't count at this point, but I think he'll get through, but I don't think he'll top it. So that's why I've gone for Pascal Wehrlein. I still think he's showing his form and he's a really talented driver. So that's why I've picked Pascal to be 4th in the qualifying stage. Cool?
The championship leader, not a bad shout. Yeah, I mean, you can't really go too wrong with that, can you? With Wehrlein, the form he's in. On the opposite end of the scale, maybe not the best start of the season, but my 4th is Dan Ticktum. He's got to do something right, hasn't he? I just think, you know what, new track. By the way, all these predictions are just randomly. You might as well have put me a spinny wheel and just whoever it lands on, I'm putting there. Because new track, who knows who's going to be good. But I'll put Ticktum there. I just saw his name on my list and I thought he'll get through.
And he did have a good weekend in Jeddah, and I think he is sort of returning back to that sort of like haunting start to the season. So it was nice to see him
definitely
in the points. I think he's now scored points, which is good for him. And hopefully he might be able to do the return of a century, but we'll see how it goes. So for my 3rd, I'm going for Mitch Evans. I think Mitch Evans, he's really quick, isn't he? And I think that he had a decent Jeddah. He's consistent. He's kind of like the go-to Jag driver at the moment because obviously he's been there since day dot. So I've gone for Mitch Evans.
He's in a quick car, isn't he, Mitch Evans? And I've also gone for a driver in a quick car, and that is Nico Muller. I think the Porsche looks the best in my opinion. Like they seem to have adapted to that Porsche very well, especially Muller, obviously new team, and Wehrlein obviously leading the championship. So I just thought, if everyone's on the same level, because new track, I think the drivers in the faster cars, arguably, will be the ones to get through. So I've put Muller in 3rd in my dual selection.
And he was quick in Miami, wasn't he? And I know the wet weather changed that, but he did look like he kind of knew that Porsche car pretty well, so it didn't seem like he's going to struggle. And like you said, it's a new track, so it is kind of resetting the board a bit. And theoretically, he would have done testing in the Andretti, so he does know this circuit, so he's not like fresh into it, but obviously with this new car. And they might change the configuration a little bit. We'll see how he does. But it's a good shout. And again, this is just to get through the first part of qualifying. How it all ends in the dual stages, we shall see. So I'm going to go for a bit of a bold one in my second position, because I wrote a list down and I was just like, I always wanted to lean into the Jags and get excited, but you can't when you're a fan of a team. You can't get excited because it just ruins your hopes for the predictions and it ruins your hope for the weekend if they don't get through. So I've gone for Nick De Vries because I can't go for Adam Mortara because he's in your group, but I still think that Mahindra is a very fast car. And I think fast car is a real reason to get through to qualifying. So that's kind of it. I think he's coming back into it. He had a bit of a bad start to the season, a bit like Dan Ticktum in a different style. But I think Nick De Vries is a world champion. I know Taylor from the Circuit Breakers backs him, and he's changed my view on it. So yes, I'm going to go with Nick De Vries.
Right, so my P2, I would have picked Nick De Vries, but he wasn't in my group, so I've gone for his teammate, Edo Mortara. Yeah, I've gone Mortara. Yeah, like you just said, you know, Mahindra looks quick, and I think they'll be zooming around that Madrid track in qualifying. So, you know, similar reason to you, I've put him second. It was just funny that you put De Vries and mentioned Mortara, so I thought I'd flip it round. But yeah, Mortara in second for me. Interesting who you're going to pick for not pole, but first in your dual knockouts or whatever it's called, whatever we call it.
Yeah, top of the duels. There's the graphic.
Who have you gone for, Kyle? Who is it?
I mean, I've been looking at my list because, like, mine was a hard group to pick, and I've gone with my gut, and I just think he's super duper quick, and I'm sort of rooting for him, Sebastian Buemi. So I just think, is he going to be?
Who saw that coming?
Is he going to be the season 12 world champion? Probably not. But I'm backing him, as you would say with Maximilian Gunther. He is my version of that. I'm backing him. So yeah, that's who I've gone for to top the duels, because I think that he is in the Jag powertrain, but I think he knows how to work that Envision car, and I think it's on the pace. And he's shown that with Mexico. He's shown that last race. Caught myself there. I mean, well, I normally say last week because, like, it's just how it is, isn't it? But yeah, so I've gone for Sebastian Buemi anyway.
Interesting. Right, I have gone for a man that consistently isn't consistent in qualifying, but consistently consistent in the race, you'd argue. Consistent Cassidy.
Oh.
Yes. I've gone for him. And, do you know, I had Dennis in my selections, and I thought, you know what? I feel like every time Dennis is in my group, I always pick him. I don't know. I might be, you know, we look back at the old videos and I haven't picked him, but I just feel like he gets mentioned every time, and I'm mentioning him now. But I've gone Cassidy. Not to foreshadow any later predictions, but I think Citroen might be quick for a change.
That's interesting. That's very interesting for foreshadowing later.
So yes, I've gone Cassidy in my selection. Sorry, I was just adjusting. Yeah, I've gone Cassidy because I just think I never pick him for duels, and Citroen I get slept on, I feel like. So I've, you know, new track, new possibilities, and I've chosen Cassidy.
And as we've said in previous episodes, that you can't just pick the most predictable, even though I feel like I have. You do have to do a bit of bold decisions.
So first in my duels is Pascal Wehrlein.
Yeah, very true, very true. But it's like last
week
race,
he gets picked.
We had Maloney that had done superbly well. So, you know, and he's theoretically in the slowest car on the track. So, and I do think I like to promote boldness. My worry is the scores. I don't have the points to not do it. But then also, just because I'm picking predictable doesn't mean I'm going to score. And that's what I love about Formula E.
Well,
like, it's crazy.
The problem you've got is you've predicted predictable, and look where you are.
I know.
Corey's bold calls have got him 9 points clear.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what
with the helping hand of Mortara, obviously. But, yes. Sorry, I cut you up there.
I was going to say, obviously, I've just picked my groups, so it's your pole position. So let's find out who you've put it on pole.
Ah, right, yes. So, as you mentioned earlier, you mentioned a certain Mahindra driver. I have stuck him on pole, but it's not the one that I chose last time. Kyle, I have picked Nick De Vries for pole position. not gonna lie, when I was picking this, I had the Formula E website on my screen, and I was just thinking, who do I think? When you look over to your other screen and you go, yeah. So I was flicking through, and I saw Nick De Vries smiling at me, and I thought, you know what, it's gonna be a good week for him. So I've put him in my poll. That's the reason. But obviously.
I bet he's happy that he smiled at you now on the website. Yeah. When he had that photo taken, he thought, I better smile just because Corey wants to pick me.
But like we said, the Mahindra, I mean, it's proven in qualifying previously. It's quick. It's a new track. I can't really put a case forward for anybody, in particular. So it was just kind of an open-handed sort of guess. It's like, putting the ball in the roulette wheel and seeing who it landed on. And I don't know. I just thought Nick De Vries because of his smile.
That's good enough answer. I mean, it's better than mine because I've just looked down at my pad and gone, oh no, I've not put even one or another. I haven't put a prediction in the information. I've left it empty there. So I've just been thinking, as you've been talking about De Vries' smile, I was like, ooh, who shall I do? And I am stuck between two drivers, but I'm going to back Mitch Evans because I think I want something different than just going for Sebastian Buemi, because I just think, no, Mitch Evans, I'm wearing the colours as close as I've got to merch or anything like that, so I'm going to stick with the boys in Jaguar. I've gone for Mitch Evans.
I was going to say, I feel like you're a rogue Envision fan who can't quite get over Jaguar. I feel like you're moving on from your previous love, and Envision is your new is your new you've got
guilty
you've got
pleasure, I guess. Do you know? I blame Ericsson. That's all I'm going to say, because if it wasn't for Ericsson, I wouldn't even know who Buemi was. So that's our pole positions. I get the luxury now of doing Energized Driver. So who do I think is going to do well this weekend? And I've tried to separate myself from looking at the bottom half and going, who shouldn't have been in the bottom half? Because that's kind of not what it's for. So, but I've got two, and I don't... do you know what? I'm going to go bolder than I've got two bold decisions here. I'll tell you both once you've said yours. But I'm going to go for Norman Nato. So yeah, I know. I was thinking he's in a Nissan. Like, what he should, he should be doing well, and I want to bring some faith back to him. And I think when I do the other shows like Unscripted and the pre-show, obviously I talk about a lot of the big characters. I don't talk about Norman Nato, so I'm going for Norman Nato, and I'm hoping he has a really good weekend. Because I forgot to mention it's a pit boost weekend as well. It's a single header, but it's a pit boo race, so I'm hoping he gets a good strategy for that.
I did not know that. You know what? I'll stick with my predictions anyway. I don't think it makes a difference.
I should. But yeah, so sorry to drop that one in there, Cole. But who have you gone for your Energized Driver?
Well, I've gone for your crush. I've gone for Joel Eriksson. I just think, right, I came into this season, right, and I said the worst driver on there is Joel Eriksson. I didn't say it like that, but I just did not have much hope for him. I really didn't. And, how wrong was I? And we're only, 5 races in, and he's top 10 in the championship. I think it's going to continue. I just think it's going to be one of them seasons for him. I think he's just going to have consistently decent weeks. And I just think it's just going to roll on to Madrid. I think he's going to be having some paella and a San Miguel after the race.
Certainly, I want a San Miguel after the race.
Because he's had an excellent drive. So I think he's just... we mention Envision a lot. And I didn't really want to carry on talking about Envision. Oh, bloody hell. Current lap talking about Envision again.
Said the one sitting in the green chair.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I just thought Joel Eriksson. He's got a good smile on the website as well, by the way.
I think, and to mention as well, this is like a current lap blooper that we never put in because we were too busy trying to get the show together. And I went off on a spiel about Ericsson. And this is where I got him wrong. And Corey's laughing because he knows where I was going. And I was like, yeah, and when Grosjean went into the back of him at Baku, and you went, that's a different Ericsson. It's just like, whoops. But yeah, so we have got him wrong in the past. But I like your decision. He's going to be your best driver of the week. Who have you put as your depleted driver?
So we talk about Envision a lot. I've gone Buemi. I've gone Buemi. I just want to do the opposite to you because you say, "Oh, how is he so quick? How is he so quick? How is he so quick?" And I'm just going to say, you know what, Kyle, he's slow this weekend. So yeah, I just think it's going to be contrasting Envision weekends. I think he's not going to have the vision of anything good. I think Ericsson's going to sit him down, slap him with a fish, and get him ready for the next race.
One is.
Yeah, he's going to be having his San Miguel's, and Buemi's going to be having some. What do you have when you're? I don't know, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Like an old glass of sangria.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I just think you hype him up a lot, so I thought, right, let's bring him back down to earth a little bit. Obviously, we say this every time, but we don't like picking a depleted, do we, Kyle?
Well, I've learned to do it now, though. I've learned to be a bit mean. I've been learned to be like, you're gonna have a bad weekend.
Yeah, but what if I end up meeting Buemi one day and he says, "You slandered me in that video"?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. In August,
Right.
in the pit lane, you're about to have a photo and he's just swearing at you.
Yeah, I'm at the London E-Prix and Buemi's just giving me the V's while I'm walking past him or whatever.
That would be a great photograph.
Do you know what? If we do come across Buemi, we might. Well, it depends if he'd be open.
I'd be at the front of the queue, you know that. I'm gonna go, Buemi. Why are you so quick?
Buemi, can you be slow? Anyway, yes, I've gone Buemi just to bring him back down to earth.
Yeah.
Not him, but you.
Oh, right, okay.
Not him. Like, there's no disrespect to Buemi here. Anyway, yes, that's my depleted. Kyle, who have you got, running out of battery,
Yeah, so I've gone for Nico Muller, which is contrasting to what you've said about the Duels, I think it was. So I just think that, I don't think Porsche is the fastest team. I think they've got a very fast car, but I don't think they're the best pairing on the grid. So for me to say they're not best pairing on the grid, one of them has to fall short. I think Pascal is comfy. So sorry, Muller. Yeah, I'm saying it's you this week. So it might only be a 10th position, but if they don't score and they don't get into the top 3 constructors, I would say that's he's not pulling his weight. So that's who I've gone for. So we're now onto the podium call. So I get to do my 3rd position first, and this is where a bit of the foreshadowing was coming in. I've gone for John-Eric Vergne. So for my 3rd position, because again, I think sometimes you get in your head about who you think is going to be on the podium, and actually, when you come to watch Formula E, you would never have wrote that down. And I think John-Eric Vergne, he's a good driver, and he's in a good team. And now we're back in Europe, and it being Stellantis, I thought, let's go John-Eric Vergne for 3rd position. Corey, who's on your podium?
Good call. I have gone for Nick De Vries. I slapped him on pole because of his smile. I think I've slapped him on the podium for the same reason. I think he's due a a very strong weekend, and I think he's gonna want it as well. I think with the start that he's had in comparison to Edo Mortara, who's obviously 2nd in the championship. So I think he's going to want to try and play catch up and prove a point a little bit, and I think it's going to land him on the podium. I think that is going to be his objective for the weekend, is slap it on the podium. But I mean, it's probably their objective every weekend. Let's be honest. No one's going to be,
they're all
unless
races
you're Lola
at heart,
Yamaha, where you, But yeah, I just think it's going to be his weekend for progression. So I've slapped him in 3rd, not quite 1st, but yeah, I think he's going to have a decent weekend. But we will see. It's
your 2nd.
So, it's me again.
Yeah.
Right, 2nd, I have gone for a little. Well, we say this is a safe bet. I've got Mitch Evans. I feel like he just likes to pop up out of nowhere, doesn't he, with a podium? And I haven't got him in my. Oh no, he was in your dual selection, wasn't he? But yes, I just think he's going to be up there. He's been a bit better recently. He did all right, didn't he, in Jeddah?
He did,
I'm right
yeah.
in saying?
I think he got on the podium the first race, I think, and then he was in the top 6, I think, for both races.
Yeah.
So because they scored really well, Jag, they went from 8th position in the championship to 2nd. So I imagine they did well.
Yes, that obviously would have been a helping hand with Da Costa's win as well, which I'm surprised you haven't mentioned already. But yes, I've stuck him in second. Kyle, who have you put?
So I've gone for last race's winner. I've gone for Antonio Felix Da Costa. Do you know, it's funny though? It's funny because on my pad I've got Da Costa and then I've got my 2 little lines. I've got Evans, which is my second pick, so I knew I had to go for Da Costa. I just think it's not the fastest car on the grid, and he's still learning this team. He looks really confident now, and I think a win and the celebrations and all that, like, it's going to make him feel a lot better. I've seen some interesting news articles from both sides with Porsche and Jaguar. It's so interesting to see, obviously, that he seems a lot happier in that team, and that's why I'm thinking he might not win it, because I still think it's going to be who's got the best car, which is unusual to say in Formula E predictions, but I just think that, I think that he's going to be... He knows what he wants now. He wants another podium. He wants a San Miguel core. So I'm going to go for him on second. And for my first position, I'm going to go for Pascal Wehrlein. On the premise that he was good at the pit boost race last week, and he got 9 seconds ahead. He was very talented. You give me the look like I've stole your prediction there, cool. But I'm having him. No. I'm having him, and I've gone for him to be my race winner this weekend.
I agree actually with the pit boost call. That is not a bad shout, Kyle, at all, to pick Wehrlein. I know I rolled my eyes and smiled weirdly, but no, you make a very very fair point. But no, you have not taken my first place. As I mentioned earlier, Citroen might have a good weekend, and I've gone for Jean-Eric Vergne to win. Yes,
amazing.
Yes, it's bold prediction season once more.
Yeah.
Yes, I have gone for Jean-Eric Vergne to win. Simply because he is, like you said earlier, he's a very good driver. You got him in third as well, which I thought was quite funny that we both picked Vergne this week. But yes, I've got him to win. Citroen, they like to just... Well, I mean, they're new, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're a new team, and they're kind of mid to... Well, Vergne's been quite mid, hasn't he? He hasn't really lit up the circuits, has he, with his driving? But Cassidy's had that one or two, excellent drives. I think it's Vergne's time now. I think he's going to be wanting to prove a point. People are pulling away from him in the championship, and he'll want to rejoin that fight. And I think it's a new circuit, and you want to go for your experienced drivers. We'll see if that comes back to haunt me, but I think experience might be a key factor. So I've gone for Vergne, and hands down, I think he's one of the most experienced and one of the best drivers, pound for pound. So I've chosen him. Sorry, I was adjusting my sock.
I've chosen him for the audio version. I will say though, while we can segue here, if you are enjoying today's episode, like Jean-Eric Vergne is, you can like the video to support the channel. So I do want to mention though, you have got a good point with Vergne, because he is what looks like I'm here 16th position if the lists are written down correctly. But you've got like De Vries, Ticktum, and Vergne, Natto, all in like quick cars, all in the bottom like 5 or the bottom 6. So I do think, it's like one of those, like, everyone's turned up this season. I think they've all been performing really well, and that's why it's so close at the top. And I think it's definitely Vergne's turn. Oh, that rhymes. Vergne's turn to do well. So, and we all like the
turn of Vergne.
The return of Vergne. Yes, scoring. So. And the last sort of question then for our day, and I bet you're very excited to ask this one, Cor, because you are now leading our championship. So I'll hand it over to you.
Kyle, who have you got for your pity points, most points? I didn't think this through. Team, best team. Who have you got for the best team?
The best team, saved by the graphic of Corey's intro there.
Yes.
If it isn't very clear... Jaguar, because I think, yes, I am biased, and I will admit that, but I just think that they're the most powerful pairing, and I think if they're still going off Jeddah's weekend and how Mitch was in Miami, they're just looking really quick, and I think if you don't go with your gut, then I feel like I'd be wrong. I do think it could be another team. I'm going to let you answer your question first, but I've gone for Jaguar because I think they're most likely not to crash into each other. So that's what I've kind of gone on. So,
fair point. New track. Who knows what will happen? Which is why I've chosen Citroen. I think you've got two very good drivers in Citroen.
Yeah.
Similarly to you. And I think experience might, like I mentioned to about when I said Vern's going to win, I think experience could be key. I mean, there's probably more experienced drivers, pairings. But yeah, I've put Vern to win, so it's a no-brainer. Citroen as the pity points best team. I think they're due a weekend where they both do well. I don't know. They've proven that they can win races. So why not make it this weekend? And I did debate putting DS Penske because they didn't do me justice last time, but I haven't mentioned a single DS Penske driver this week, so and nor have you actually. So who knows? DS Penske might turn up and dominate,
I think Barnard is
who
always a decision that you can go for, isn't he? He's like one of those ones that you think, come on. But he has shown some form, but he's also kind of in some races just not showing up at all. So he's
gone backwards, hasn't he, in some races? Yeah,
it's kind of just like Barnard's kind of like good, but then he's also sometimes gets lost in the others. So I don't want to say he's bad because actually he's very good and there's some performances this year. But I think there's so many outstanding drives that we're getting this year. Like when we pick driver of the day, it's really difficult. A lot of them tend to be the race winners because the way they won it was just like, well, no one competed with that. That was pure talent. And a lot of the winners this year weren't on pole position. I mean, Pascal in race 4 was 13th, wasn't he? So that was incredible. There was no way you could not say that. So I think, I wasn't expecting you to say Citroen, but I was stuck between Porsche and Jag, but I just think I can't say Depleted and then go Porsche. Like sometimes you have to roll with your punches, and that's what I've gone for. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I was hoping actually we get a double header on the new tracks because I think it gives you two chances to go. It's a good track or a bad track. So, because if you have anything like, Azerbaijan in Formula 1 in that first race, like, it made the circuit look awful. But then the years
that
after...
first race at Azerbaijan was awful.
So,
and then the second year was absolute chaos. It's similar to Jeddah, though, to be fair. Like, the first race they did in Jeddah was amazing. And then the second race they did in Jeddah was very average.
And that's...
So, yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, I think with new tracks... Let's just plan it for a double header because then you get two races. Like out Jeddah weekend, but the pit boost completely changes it. It completely changes the race. The strategy's out the window for the different races, and they do give us two different ones. But if we had two stale races, at Formula E could go, no, not again. So I mean, it's not very rare they would ever say that, but not very rare. I mean, it'd be very rare they would say that. So, but yeah,
were you talking about your stake order just there, Carl?
Yes, if it comes with San Miguel, yes. So yeah, that's our predictions. I'll just flash up on screen again. These are the group stages. You guys can pick from anyone. Me and Corey limit ourselves just so there's a bit of challenge between us. But I don't mind if you pick one from others. Just go for it. We like to do it in the group stages because we can watch it as my group and then Corey's group, and it does make a bit of a fisty fight in front of the TV, which is fun. So, but yeah, and then obviously the points are scored like this, and yeah, get involved. Leave a comment down below. And we'll see who comes out on top in the Fan Zone Championship because there's two of them that have won 2 weekends, so it's getting heated down there. For the final part of the show, I said to you beforehand, Corey, I wanted to do some hot takes for the weekend, just because we did one on TikTok and it was really fun to just do. So I'll do these as separate videos as well. But I just wanted to talk about some of the hot takes that I have, and then if you want to bring something to the board call, go for it. So this is the first time we've done this, hence why I'm explaining the rules to Corey. So my first hot take is, can Mortara lead the championship after this weekend? In my video I did while I was waiting for this week to happen, I said actually if he wasn't taken out in Brazil and had such a bad race in Brazil, he would be ahead of Pascal by at least 9 points or 8 points, I think it was. So if I put him in 5th position, which I did this really cool graphic with, it really showed actually like he is doing pretty well. I've been speaking to some of them in the Formula E community over on the Formula E Zone channel. I put in their chat saying, what do you guys think to this? And they said in season, I think it was 8 and 9, he had a run of form and he could have won it in those seasons as well. So he has been a contender in the past. So, but I wanted to say to you, Court, do you think he could potentially be leading the championship this weekend?
Absolutely. I think, well, like you just said, apart from him getting taken out, he could well be clear of the championship lead, and he's been very consistent. And I think with the way that he's been in the last few races, and obviously one thing was out of his hands, he's got every right to say, "Oh, you know what? I could lead this championship." And if Fairline doesn't have a good race, he could be leading it anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's all to play for. But I definitely think he will have a say this weekend.
And yeah, I think it's that quick car. He seems like he's calm and collected. I think he actually had a few. Was he nearly taken out by Bohemian the qualifying in Miami and things like that? So there has been things where actually I think he's been consistently quick. And if you look at the qualifying, that's what I was trying to get to. The qualifying last week, they're two separate events, and yet he still prevailed in both. So, and I think he did momentous, I guess is a word I like to use.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wanted to bring that because I do think I'm really pushing it. I think new champion, and I don't think he's won a race this season yet, so he could be the next race winner as well. So I'm on the hype train for both Envision and Mortara. So, but yeah, that's my first hot take. My second one is Zane Maloney in the points. I feel like he's been sniffing distance every race. He's had a few where he's been into some collisions, but I think Zane Maloney is outperforming that car. I think it's not the best, but it's also he's showing his talent coming through, and I think hopefully if it doesn't work out in that team, there's meant to be new teams coming into Formula E in Gen 4. Somebody sign him because he's showing talent. He's got a point on the board already from the first race, and I know there was a lot of chaos in that, but actually he was very close in other previous races. He nearly got into the duels, which means I think he did get into duels in one of the weekends, so he has been in for the 3 points as well. So what do you think? Do we see any yellow on the podium?
I do see yellow on the podium. Well, unless you say Andretti. But no, I completely agree. I think Zane Maloney really has taken a massive step forward from last year. Yes, he only has 1 point on the board, but that Lola Yamaha is, everyone can agree it is the car that's struggling the most. However, they are making steps, I feel. And I've mentioned it in a previous video. I think they will make better steps this year. And obviously, Degrassi is still yet to score. Yeah. Maloney has pushed the hell out of that Lola Yamaha, and I think one of the Jeddah races he got taken out, didn't he? He got clubbed, but yeah, I think he's taken steps in the right direction, and he's putting a good account of himself forward to any potential new team, or even one of the existing teams. But I think he will get there. He will get there, and I think he's doing the right thing at the moment.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I wanted to put him in some of my results today. But again, I'm still trying to be realistic with the group I had. I wanted to put him through. And same with one person we didn't mention, it's his home race, Marty. I already wanted to put him in there, but I just, again, didn't have the group to do so, and I don't think he's going to get on the podium. I think he'll have a good weekend, but it's no reason to energise him. So, going through my thought process, I really wanted to include him because actually, this is a time for him to shine, and he is quick, and the Kiro's pretty quick with the older Porsche powertrain. So, but I wanted Zane Maloney. I want both Degrassi and Zane Maloney to score points. I want that team to come back into the fight. But I don't know. I've lost faith in Degrassi, and hopefully we won't be saying that in a couple of race times. But yeah, I definitely want Zane Maloney to start scoring because I feel like he's been unlucky. So those are my two hot takes. Do you have a hot take to bring to today's episode?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a hot take. It's more to extend the conversation we just had. Do you think Marty is going to have a top 5 finish this weekend in his home race? Personally, I think it's doable. He had a good weekend in Jeddah. He's got more points than Tictum. And it's a new track. It's a level playing field. Is he gonna, revel in the Spanish air and prevail and have a good result himself? What do you reckon?
I think if it was a double header, I would have said he would have definitely got in the top 6. So, but I think again, these drivers are hungry for points, and I think there's a lot of good drivers that are going to be stealing, I reckon, up to the top 8. And that's what I look at it in this sport. I see top 8. Anyone below top 8 has just missed out on the points, but there's always going to be a really strong fight. And it's why winning team in our prediction doesn't always go to the winner, because actually they are like few in between each other. So, and I think there's at least 6 constructors fighting for the championship at the moment. And at least, how many drivers would I say? Probably about 9 that could potentially win the championship. Maybe before Jeddah, but there was definitely 9 that were ready for it. And in my pre-show, I look at the points and go, well, these 2 are kind of out of sync. But if they win a race, they'll be here. And it's really interesting to see that actually that's so easy to do. Look at Da Costa. He was bottom of the championship after like the 3rd round because he just had no points on the board. And I still think he can take it on with Verline. How heated that's going to be is going to be interesting, because now they can hit each other because they're in different teams. Not that it's a contact sport, but it's a racetrack and they're going to want every point they can. So, yeah, I think going back to your point, can Marty get in the top 6? I'm going to say no, but I hope that home spirit pushes him on and he gets a decent result to celebrate and show his country why he's on the Formula E grid. So, did you answer it, or was that a question to me?
It was a question to you, but I think I want to have faith in him, and I want to say he will, because he's a rookie to begin with. It would be absolutely sensational for him to have a decent result in his home race. I think he's quite a nice guy, to be honest, as well. I think he deserves it. But yeah, who knows? I think it's a level playing field, like I've said about 5,000 times. I think he's got every chance to. But one other thing I wanted to talk about was: are we sleeping on Felipe Drugovich? Is there a monster behind that helmet and that visor?
Well, funny enough, I saw that both the Brazilian drivers are at the bottom of the championship, and I thought, oh, that's not great for Brazilians when you've had the likes of Felipe Massa and Ayrton Senna. Like, yeah, Brazilians are
Barrichello.
Yeah, exactly. They're Brazilians are born racers. I don't know what their motorway's like, but I wouldn't want to be on it. But yeah, you do raise a valid point, because I don't think the Andretti's the strongest car in the grid, because I think Jake Dennis isn't. He's struggling to keep up with the likes of the Jag powertrain and the Porsche and even the Nissan. I think he sort of falls in that bracket of like top 5, 6. So is Drugovich not got the car? That's what I would look at from a team perspective. So are we sleeping on Drugovich? Probably, yeah. I think again it's his first full season in Formula E, so he's kind of like in the shadows. And maybe come Gen 4, we'll see his performance. But I'm not convinced by the Andretti car. So I'm not convinced that he's going to be able to do the performances that his talent allows him to. So
yeah, to be honest, I completely agree with what you've just said. I think the Andretti may hold him back a little bit, and with his sort of, I'm not going to say rustiness, but like, he's you learn to walk before you run kind of thing. And I think he's taken those steps, and I think he will do better eventually. But how soon, I don't know. I mean, like, he could just randomly win a race and we just forget about, oh, Drugovich is rubbish. He's not. He's just won a race. Like, everyone could shut up about, Drugovich being a letdown, or like, he's not proven himself. But that's Formula E. Anything can happen. And I think Drugovich knows he's better than 0 points. And well, everyone on the grid is better than 0 points, let's be honest. But yeah, I think he's going to be held back by the Andretti car, and we'll see if he and Andretti can improve.
Yeah, I think Gen 4 as well, being a completely different beast, is going to bring a different type of racing as well. I mean, Formula E Zone did a video earlier about tracks that they want to see, because these cars are going to be completely different, and I think it's going to be a new era of Formula E. Very similar to when they came from Gen 2 to Gen 3, and we're sort of wrapping this up. And it's also why I think that, like, it's also why I think...
He's done it again.
It's why I avoided it earlier when I was talking about the teams. Yola Yamaha. There we go. Yes. Lola Yamaha.
No,
there we
Lola,
go. Yeah.
Lola Yamaha.
Any subscribers will know that I struggle with that tongue twister, and Corey doesn't know why. But it's why I think that they as a new team who have actually just separated from whoever they were partnered with. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm so embarrassed about not being able to say the team name. I'll put it on here. And basically they've separated for Gen 4, so they are literally the Yamaha team now. So it's the Apt. There we go. It was the Yamaha Apt team. Right, yeah. So they've now separated from Apt, and yeah, they're I hope they do well because I actually really like them. Their color scheme is very because it's not symmetrical. I think I have a thing for non-symmetrical cars like the Jag and stuff. So I just see it and go, ooh, that's different. So, but yeah. So yeah, good hot takes, good questions. I think we'll try and bring this more to the episodes. We'll do these as separate videos as well, so people can leave their comments below on those specific topics if they want to, and do get in touch and let us know your hot takes. We might be able to bring some others. I know you've all got very interesting things to say, so it'd be cool to question some of the stuff that we might miss by, well, me being just a Jag powertrain fan and Corey going bold. There's a category missing definitely for the blatantly obvious hot takes. So
let us know in the comments as well if you agree with what we say or disagree. You know, we like to discuss these sort of things. So yeah, feel free in the comment section to leave your thoughts on the topics or a topic of your own, and maybe the next episode me and Carl will talk about it. Yeah. But yeah, I quite like this hot takes stuff.
So to wrap it up for today's episode, which I think we did in quick time, especially with our hot takes as well, I was thinking about London, especially when we mentioned seeing the boys in the pit lane and being like fans. Me and Corey are still Formula E fans, even though we do this channel. We don't want to separate ourselves from the rest of you. So, and we've been talking about how we approach London, but I think we're going to end up in the grandstands and just enjoy the experience. And I think that's one thing that we want to showcase as fans, that we still enjoy it as much, even though we talk about it like we're pundits. I've got 2 pads, Corey. What the heck?
I don't have anything, as you can probably tell from my answers.
But yeah, I've enjoyed doing this show. I feel a bit rusty. If I feel like we've been a bit rusty because it's been so long, which hopefully not. Yeah. And just one final thing before I hand over Corey to finish the video. Between the big gap between now and Berlin, we're going to do a power ratings video. Me and Corey have been keeping track of what we think of the drivers. I've got a really cool idea, so we're going to do that in the break so we don't leave you and neglect you to the world. We want to make sure that there is some content out there. But I'm finished talking, which is surprising for me. Over to you, Corey. You can finish the video in your usual fashion or however you like.
I reckon we just play the outro.